Hello friends, in this video we are going to discover the top 10 worst states to live in America. Let's be real, the last few years have left Americans feeling particularly stressed out. COVID happened, human rights are compromised, and salaries just aren't keeping up with inflation. And the struggle is extra real for a handful of states deemed the worst places to live in the US according to a study which takes into account factors such as environmental quality, crime rates, healthcare and inclusiveness of state laws in areas like protections against discrimination and voting rights. While the United States ranks 20th globally in quality of life metrics, programs and policies make for vastly different experiences across states. Each year, US News & World Reports releases its best state rankings to show how states perform on metrics that impact quality of life. The states ranked the worst to live in are those that provide the worst quality of life for their people. According to the World Health Organization, WHO, quality of life measures seek to understand how individuals perceive their position in society and the level to which they can obtain their needs, meet their goals and address their concerns. Now let's dig deeper into each of the top 10 worst states to live in America. Kindly make sure to hit the subscribe button and press the bell icon before we start this video about the 10 worst states to live in America. Number 10 on the list of worst states to live in America is Kentucky. While the state outperforms the nation in crime, infrastructure and opportunity metrics, its fiscal instability and healthcare concerns overshadow some of those strengths. The state has one of the lowest levels of fiscal stability, due in part to the state's $1.8 billion shortfall. Wolathub also ranks Kentucky among the states with the highest levels of poverty. Kentucky also falls behind the nation in several health metrics, including low levels of childhood immunizations and high levels of preventable hospitalization. However, according to America's health rankings, much of the state's healthcare concerns have to do with the habits of its people. Kentucky ranks last in the nation for exercise and fruit and vegetable consumption while maintaining the country's second highest rate of smoking and sleep deprivation. Number 9 on the list of worst states to live in America is South Carolina. The state has one of the highest levels of violent crime, with the nation's 5th highest homicide rate and a juvenile incarceration rate 10% higher than the national average. The murder and aggravated assault rates have been on a steady climb since 2016, despite a significant decrease in the 20 years prior. South Carolina's schools trail behind the nation in K-12 performance measures and high school graduation rates, 81% to 85%. According to Quality Counts, the poverty gap in South Carolina is one of the worst in the nation. This metric measures the difference in the quality of education between poor and wealthy students. Given that South Carolina has one of the nation's highest poverty levels, the poverty gap affects many of the state's students. Number 8 on the list of worst states to live in America is Oklahoma. Residents of Oklahoma have some of the nation's lowest rates of healthcare access. A fifth of individuals aged 19 to 64 in the state do not have insurance, while 14.6% of individuals reported avoiding healthcare due to cost. The state also has some of the country's highest rates of non-medical drug use and the second lowest rate of exercise and vegetable consumption. Oklahoma has the 16th highest murder rate in the country and has seen a rise in violent crimes. The state also has the nation's second highest incarceration rate, with 639 out of every 100,000 people behind bars. Number 7 on the list of worst states to live in America is Arkansas. Arkansas' access to healthcare, specifically dental care, is ranked among the worst in the country. Residents have the lowest rate of dentist visits and 12.9% report avoiding healthcare due to cost. The state also has the nation's second highest rates of tobacco use and cardiovascular disease. Arkansas has the 4th highest incarceration rate, with 586 of every 100,000 people imprisoned. The state also has the 4th highest incidence of violent crime. High rates of poverty and economic hardship coupled with low levels of educational attainment may contribute to the high crime rates seen in the state. Number 6 on the list of worst states to live in America is Alaska. Alaska's economy is 50th in the nation, falling from the 46th spot in the 2019 rankings. The COVID-19 pandemic hurt the state's heavy reliance on oil and tourism. According to the Alaskan Department of Labor, Alaska's economy trails behind the nation in job growth, unemployment rate, and wage growth, though the state did outpace the nation in job growth in the fourth quarter. The National Institute of Justice defines violent crimes involving murder, rape, sexual assault, robbery or aggravated assault. Despite falling in line with the nation's average homicide rate, Alaska leads the nation in violent crime rates. Number 5 on the list of worst states to live in America is Alabama. The state has seen some improvement in its education system since 2019, when it ranked 50th in the nation. Education Weekly's Quality Counts analysis gave the state a D+, citing low levels of student performance and adult outcomes. While the state made improvements in early childhood education, overall progress is happening at a slower rate than the nation overall. Healthcare in Alabama trails most of the nation due to low levels of access. America's Health Rankings ranks the state 49th for overall health outcomes, citing the lowest level of access to providers in the country. Rates of depression, obesity, diabetes, and chronic kidney disease are some of the highest in the country. Number 4 on the list of worst states to live in America is West Virginia. West Virginia infrastructure, economy, and healthcare scores contribute to the state's low ranking. The state's infrastructure is the worst in the nation. Nearly a third of West Virginia's roads are in poor condition. InfrastructurePortCard.org gives West Virginia a grade of D, signifying that the state systems are at risk, with many elements reaching the end of their service life. Number 3 on the list of worst states to live in America is New Mexico. New Mexico's education system ranks last in the nation, and EdWeek Research Center ranked the state's public schools the worst in the country. By the EdWeek Research Center, the state's fourth grade reading levels are the lowest in the country. Only 75% of New Mexican students graduate from high school, significantly lower than the national average of 85.8%. Opportunity metrics are low in the state, with a poverty rate of 17%. Furthermore, 26% of children live at or below the poverty line, which is the country's highest level of childhood poverty. Number 2 on the list of worst states to live in America is Mississippi. Mississippi ranks last in terms of healthcare due to low levels of access and outcomes. Nearly a fifth of residents have no health insurance. 14% of residents claim to have avoided seeking medical care due to cost concerns. Mississippi also has the highest rate of obesity in the nation, with 38.7% being obese. The state also leads the nation in infant mortality, cesarean delivery, preterm birth, and low birth weight. America's Health Rankings rank Mississippi the worst in the Economic Hardship Index. Nearly 19% of Mississippi's residents live at or below the poverty line. The per capita income for the state is $25,300, the lowest in the nation. Levels of unemployment and food insecurity are also the worst in the country. Number 1 on the list of worst states to live in America is Louisiana. Low performance across all metrics, especially crime and education concerns. Both crime and criminal justice are concerns in Louisiana. The state ranks first in the nation for homicide, with 15.8 murders for every 100,000 people, far outpacing the runner-up, Missouri, with 11.8 homicides per 100,000. It also has the nation's highest incarceration rate, with 680 incarcerated individuals for every 100,000 residents. Opportunity and education in Louisiana are also among the worst in the nation. The state has the highest level of poverty, at 19%, and among the highest levels of food insecurity. School spending is the lowest in the nation, as are performance measures on 4th and 8th grade reading and math. So, which state do you think is the worst among the top 10 worst states to live in America? Well, that's all we have for you today. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the content of this video, click the subscribe button so you can receive more content like this. Post your thoughts on worst states among the top 10 worst states to live in America in the comments below. I'd love to read them, and I'm sure others would too.